Hey everybody, welcome to my video today. Getting ready for my walk, and it's thought you can get ready with me. I already have my Neutrogena mineral area. Have my iced coffee. I think I need more. A whole lot more. I'm just like, I need coffee. I actually slept too much yesterday. That's what I mean. It was my day off, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to relax today, but I went for a walk last night, did a video. I don't know if you saw that. I don't think you did. It's over on TikTok. It's has to do with basically people that are struggling with their job and single moms, single dads, people that have been in a job a long time. But go over to TikTok, follow me over there. It's Tony Martin 400. Also join my Facebook group. It's Tony's Journey, and that is in the description below. A lot of good people over there. I post there a lot. I post a lot on TikTok. What is going on with your body the first 2 weeks of low carb? If you're just starting low carb, or you're in the midst of low carb, and you're just getting to the point of where you're like, something's going on. Can't pinpoint it, but I need a little bit of help. I already have my I keep saying that, mineral sunscreen on my face. So it is the UV Tint Face Liquid. If you haven't tried this Neutrogena, I've actually stocked up on it because I don't know if they sell this in the winter time. So I went ahead and bought 2 more. I think it's like $13 at Walmart. Get you some. It is the best. Look how almost foundation, like I have foundation on my skin. Look at the way my skin, I love it. I just love it. One more thing, sorry. I put this G Lotion L'Oreal in with I put it on my hand with the sunscreen, and then I put this in, like a drop of this in there, and this is what you get. You can't ask for more. I seriously do not need foundation, and I don't tan. Like, this is what I will put on before I go for my walk because I don't want a lot of sun on my face, but I will actually like get in the sun, and just for about 10-15 minutes a day is what I will do with the sun on my face. Since I'm getting more mature skin, I don't want to get more dark spots. I don't know about you, but when I used to lay out in the sun, my freckles and things like that would get darker. And then I had a bunch of like age spots here that actually are gone. Well, they're fading, but I have one that's almost gone here, and I have a couple here that are actually almost gone. But if you like, it gives you almost like a glow. And then I also put some powder. I use the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting powder. Also, like if I'm going to go have coffee with my dad, I will put this on so I'm not so glowy. So I'm not so like shiny after I sweat. But and also this sunscreen is really good with like sweat. I don't know. I haven't read it basically to see if it comes off during sweat. But I would just reapply it if you're out in the sun just to be safe. Just to be safe. I do believe it's Maybelline Brow Pencil is when I pencil in my brows. I have a few bare spots in my brows, so I kind of fill them in, and then I trim them up and make them look a little bit tamed because they get out of hand. I also put castor oil on my eyebrows to make them grow at night, and it does work. So, and I also use this Maybelline Perfect Brow to kind of just comb out the brow. And then I just do that. And that actually sets them for the day. Taupe color, top. See, need more coffee. So anyway, and then I just also use this L'Oreal There, that mascara. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this. I only apply mascara only, not for my run or anything. This is not waterproof. But you know what? I sweat a lot when I walk. And this stays on. I'm telling you what. It stays on. Just to make it look like I actually have brows. So right now, during your first 2 weeks, and during your first month especially, your body's transitioning from using carbs as energy to fat. It's more, your body's more, works more efficiently when it's using fat, especially if you have existing fat like I do that you're trying to get rid of. Use that as your energy, and it's going to transition to that. So when you go over to low carb, your body just works better that way. When it's using, your brain works better. You're not as foggy when you're on carbs and all of that. So use that as your energy source, and it will switch over. You'll notice you'll notice it, and how you'll notice it is you will have so much energy. God, I feel like I could walk 10 miles. I mean, I'm serious. I need to go walk right now. It's like you're just full of energy. Also, you will start to lose a lot of water. Like you'll notice you'll be going to the restroom a lot more, and you'll be losing a lot of water. So that's when you got to transition into putting more salt, good quality salt, like Celtic salt, pink salt. I use real salt. You can get that on Amazon. You can also get it at health food stores. You can't get real salt, like Walmart or something like that. You can get the pink salt. That's okay, but add that to your water, because you're going to be losing some electrolytes. Not a ton, but you'll be losing a lot of electrolytes because, and depending on how much inflammation you have in your body, that will all depend on how much water you're going to be losing. And you'll notice you'll be dropping some weight. That's water weight in the beginning, just to let you know. And don't be discouraged there just because it's water weight. This is the beginning of something great. And then when you're transitioning from the American Standard Diet, which is high carb, high sugar, yeah. When you're transitioning from that to low carb, you will notice also that you might get a headache when you wake up. You know, the electrolytes, like I said. You'll also, you want to get some magnesium. I actually have, it's the Mango 7 Cleanse. This is what I use. I take one of these a day, and this doesn't cause cramping. It's an overnight cleanse. It helps the digestive system. I also take the magnesium glycinate. Make sure you get the glycinate. This one is not it. It's in my bedroom, but this is what the brand Cal is what I get from Amazon, and I can link that below if you'd like. But the glycinate I take at night. This actually works while you sleep, and actually makes me just go off into sleep land. There's no like stimulant to it or anything like that, you know, where you're just like an Ambien or something like that, but it actually naturally helps you to sleep, go to sleep. And then this mango during the day is what I take this in. I take this with a meal. I take all my vitamins. I take fiber. I take this. I take vitamin D3 and K2. This combination helps absorb nutrients, especially in your protein. It helps that. And then I also take original papaya enzymes, because I have no gallbladder, so this helps with digestion and absorption. Jesus. And it's very good for, you know, like if you're on Manjaro, you'll notice like sulfur burps and things like that, and just normal, because what happens with Manjaro is that your food will sit in your stomach a little longer than what your normal, you know, digestion is, and then you'll start getting these like burps. That actually takes it away. And you might also get a little bit irritable in the beginning, just because that carb transition to fat is happening, and your body's like going through this kind of not a withdrawal. Well, maybe it is. It's a withdrawal, but this will pass, and you will love the feeling of the fat, that you're using fat as energy so much more than carbs. You won't have that, when you eat and then you have that low, and then you have that high, and then you have that low in the afternoon when you're, after you eat your lunch, you're at work and you have that 2 p.m. You know that feeling, that 2 p.m. feeling of when you're basically your energy tanks, and you just get this. I used to get in such a bad mood around that time. And that's why I went to the vending machine, because then I'd have to have that sweet to bring myself back up, which would only be temporary and would be such a bad thing for your body to bring your sugars all the way up, and then they tank again. So your body is just trying to do this all day long, and it's trying to compensate for all that sugar you're eating, all the carbs you're eating. So it brings it up, your insulin comes up, then it's got to come down. And that's a lot of times when I call that insulin resistance, it's basically your body it's resisting. You're not getting nutrients. It's doing nothing for your body. That sugar, that cupcake, I'm sorry if that triggers anyone, that you get out of the vending machine, or that soda. I used to think soda was just liquid. Like, I'm getting my liquid in, and I'm like, no, that's not what you're doing. You know how they used to always say, like, when people would drop, like they would stop drinking soda and they would drop like 11, 13 pounds right away. And I totally understand why some people get confused when they first start this, because all of these symptoms come in. But I'm telling you, it's almost like a drug. Your carbs and sugar is like a drug, and you are detoxing your body. That's what that is. People just kind of like, oh my God, this is having I'm having an opposite effect. Something's happening to my body. You know what I mean? So let me ask you this. What are you getting out of eating all the sugar and the carbs? You're getting pretty much nothing. What is that doing for you, like on a daily basis? Is that making you feel good? Are you feeling like you can go run 10 miles? Are you full of energy? What is that carbs and that sugar doing for you? Or low fat. What is that doing for your body? It's doing no good. And it took me a long time to figure that out, because I was eating rice, chicken, veggies, and I thought I was doing my body good. So I do 30 to 50 carbs net a day, and I have lost 32 pounds so far with the help of, a lot of people think that Mounjaro is the backside of all this, and they think that Mounjaro, the only thing that Mounjaro does for me, and this is just me, is it shuts off the food noise in the background that I was having before, that I never knew I had before. When you shut that off, you never knew. I mean, I was always like, I have to eat. Because I felt like I was doing the right thing and all that, but I knew I had to eat, but I never knew how strong the food noise just for food and the act of eating and all of that was, until it was shut off. I mean, it's amazing. I use Fitness Pal to track my carbs only. I don't track fat. Read my glucose. This is my glucose monitor here. And if my, because protein does spike your insulin temporarily, not like sugar or carbs like that. It just does it temporarily, and then it comes back down. If you're insulin resistance, it's going to stay up there for a little bit. And you can always tell how much you are insulin resistance and how long that sugar level basically stays up there. Like if it's hours, you can almost bet you're pretty good insulin resistance like I was. See, now since I brought my A1C down from 6.9 down to 5.4, I've noticed that it goes up and then it comes back down. I mean, within like a half hour, which I am so happy about because it wasn't doing that before. I recommend this for anyone. You don't have to be type 2, type 1. You don't have to be any of that. I recommend this for anyone because the American Standard Diet that is going on right now, you could pretty much bet anything you eat. If you're not looking at the ingredients, anything you eat is going to raise your insulin. I'm telling you. And I found that out just by getting this, and I'm like, gosh, I always thought that one thing that I was eating was so good, and then I found out, yeah, it's raising my insulin. So it's almost like not an experiment with yourself, but to find out how your body is reacting to carbs, sugar, even protein. Lastly, do not cut good fats from your diet, like avocado, fatty fish, fatty chicken, organic. It only costs like $1 more. Get the organic. If you're going to eat lean, get the organic. That's my rule, and I'm sticking with it because the quality of meat is so much better than your Tyson or something like that that's out there. Now, if that's all you can afford, it's okay. That's okay. You don't have to get the organic, but do it when you can. But make no mistake, good fats will help with your hunger so much. You have no idea. It will not raise your insulin whatsoever. So that's a good thing. So the main goal with low carb, with losing weight, getting healthy, fixing your A1C, insulin resistance, is fat in your diet. And I know that is the opposite of what we have been taught growing up. Back in the 80s, it was, they took the fat out of food, which I have no idea why. But believe me, I followed it too. I was on board with low fat, and all of that, removing the skin off the chicken and all of that. I mean, yeah, I was there too, but I'm telling you, it's going to help so much with getting rid of and the weird thing is that it's going to help you get rid of the existing fat that you have on your body. And then you'll be losing weight and it won't raise your insulin. So the key to this whole thing is to not raise that insulin. Okay? So eat fat with every single meal that you have. Eat good fats. Add a little bit of avocado in there. Have a chicken thigh. Yes, have a chicken thigh. They're delicious. Yes, we eat a lot of chicken thighs. We eat a lot of fatty fish. If you could have fish. If you're not allergic to fish, yeah, I would just do fatty beef. I do 85-15, but it is from Aldi's and it's the organic. Look for that. It's so good. And I think with that packaging, it's from Australia. So they have a lot of different codes and things like that, or rules with meat and how they feed their animals and things like that. It's all organic. So it's a lot different than what we have here in the States. Which I love that they have that meat and they bring it in on a regular basis so you can get it at all times. If I was you, because it's so delicious. The hamburgers they make with that, the taco meat. And you'll find out, I noticed this the other day. I was like, you know what? I need to show this to my audience. The 85-15, I don't know if you're one of those people that like look at the grease after you cook your meat, but there's barely any grease on that after it's cooked. Like when you cook that hamburger meat that you get, the non-brand one that I call, that's from Walmart or even Aldi's, the non-brand one. You know what I'm talking about, the one that has no label on it pretty much. That is going to create so much bad inflammation grease in the pan. And if you don't think that a bad oil, basically, or an oil that is created by that beef is going to create inflammation in your body. But I wake up feeling great now, along with intermittent fasting, low carb, and everything else I'm doing on a daily basis. Like, I'm going to go for a walk. I know it's steaming out there right now, but it's only like 8 o'clock in the morning, so I'm going to go out and do my walk. Even if it's a short walk and I get out there and I just sweat a little bit, it's awesome. Lastly, and I know that was lastly, do not quit before you actually get past that point of getting fat adapted. Please do not quit. If you feel like quitting, message me, please, with your questions on what's going on. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nurse or anything like that, but I'm on here to help you because this has worked for me, so I want it to work for you. Okay? So you guys, you have a great day, and I'm going to get out and walk. Have a great day. See you later. And don't forget to subscribe to get more future updates. See you later. Bye.